Hello everyone, welcome back again in my channel. I am Indrajit here. So today we will discuss the rest of Skinner operant conditioning. So we previous class we have learned about the what is conditioning, who is Skinner's and his experiments. So today we will know about the characteristics of the operant conditioning as well as know about the principles of operant conditioning, and lastly we know the rules or law of operant conditioning. So let's start. So now we have decided the first disclose the characteristics of operant conditioning. So first characteristics of operant conditioning is the positive reinforcement. So first characteristics is positive reinforcement. So next is the negative reinforcement. So we know the behavior is changed by the consequences is stopping in the negative condition. So we know the behavior is the changed by the consequences of stopping of a negative behavior. So next third is the punishment. So behavior weak or they experiencing a negative conditions. And lastly the characteristics of the operant conditioning is the extinction. So extinction is the behavior is the weakened. So extinction is the behavior is weakened by the consequences is not the appearing a positive conditions or stopping a negative conditions. So those are the four characteristics of operant conditioning given by the Skinner. So next we know about the principles of operant conditioning. So let's start. Conditioning has the five principles. Number one is the shaping, number two is the reinforcement, and number three is the set, and number four is the spontaneous recovery, and number five is the permanency. So in this here reinforcement has classified the three parts is a positive, negative and punishment. So in previous we have learned about the positive, negative or punishments. So now we going to disclose the five principles of operant conditioning. So number one is the shaping. So shaping to achieve a desired behavior step by step traits by using the direct or participant towards the end goal, as well as breaking down behavior into a small steps. So now we know about the reinforcements. We know that the reinforcements also has three types, is a positive, is a negative, and then last is the punishments. So we know about the reinforcement. So reinforcement is any event that just change or increase the behavior of it. It's called reinforcement. So we know that the reinforcement has three: positive, negative, and last is the punishments. So now we will know about the set. So what is the set? Now it is the desirable to have the initial preparations of animals before the operant impulse is framed. So it is the animal impulse to frame. And next fourthly, the number four is spontaneous recovery. The spontaneous recovery, it is the operant. So it is the abolish the operant conditioning, and the operant abilities will be the repair in the animal can put away from while the reinforcement or reproduction reintroduce the same situations and a given is couple of reinforcement stimulus. So this is the four principles of operant conditioning. Now lastly we know the principles of the permanency. So we know the principles of the permanency. So permanency, persistence of acquiring behavior or tendencies depends on the absence of reinforcement stimuli or reinforcement. Skinner's outline of a number of the principles regarding when and how to present reinforcement stimuli to maintain the states. So it is the how to represent the information single to the maintain the states. So those are the five principles of operant conditioning. Now you know about the law or rules of operant conditioning. So there is a four law or four other rule of the operant conditioning. There is the interval schedule, there is a ratio schedule, there is a fixed interval schedule, and there is a fixed in ratio schedule. So those are interval schedule, ratio schedule, fixed interval schedule, and fixed interval ratio schedule. So number one is interval schedule. So interval schedules provides a reinforcements after the specific time, like the wages have worker after 4 hours of work. Example, the worker gain money after he complete his work. This is the interval schedule. So number two is the ratio schedule. So ratio focus on the reinforcement is given the often a certain number of accepted response on a ratio or schedule. So this is the ratio schedule. So what is the example of the ratio schedule? If you read 5 hours, then I will give a chocolate. So this is the ratio schedule example of. Next law is the fixed interval schedule. There is a two types, fixed and interval is combined here, and give the name of this rule is fixed ratio. So we know that. So reinforcements is the provide to the individual often a specific period of a time, like minute, hours and day, etc. So it is you complete this work in 2 hours, you complete this work 3 months, you complete the works in 5 days. So this is the fixed interval schedule. And lastly, we know the fixed ratio schedule. So this is the ratio, means some number here. So we know the what is the ratio, fixed ratio schedule. So it involves reinforcements often a certain number of response have been emitted. So there is a example is a child being given candy or some chocolate if he read 3 to 10 pages. So those are the laws or rule of operant conditioning. So today's session we have learned about the characteristics of the operant conditioning, principles of the operant conditioning, and as well as the rules or law of the operant conditioning. So we will meet next day, and so I have quit this session here, and next day I will come here and I will expose the another topic of psychology. So take care, bye.